A journey through my own country. My name is Daniel Jones, and I was born in Birmingham, right in the heart of England. For 30 years I lived in the same city, working, studying and visiting friends. Like many people, I often dreamed of travelling abroad, to Spain, to Italy or to the United States, but one day I realised something strange. I had never truly explored my own country. So I made a decision. Instead of flying somewhere far away, I would spend 2 weeks travelling through the United Kingdom as a tourist. I wanted to see it with fresh eyes, as if I were a visitor from another land. London, the beating heart. I started in London, of course. I took the train from Birmingham and arrived at Euston Station on a rainy morning. The city was busy as always, with buses rushing by and people in suits walking quickly. I stayed near Tower Bridge, and in the evening I took a long walk along the Thames. The lights of the city reflected in the water, and I felt proud that this was my country's capital. At the Tower of London, I joined a small group tour where I met a couple from Italy, Marco and Sophia. They were friendly, and we shared stories while walking around the historic streets. It felt good to connect with people who were discovering London for the first time, while I was rediscovering it. The southern countryside. From London, I rented a car and drove south toward the countryside of Sussex. The small villages surprised me with their stone cottages, flower gardens, and calm green hills. In one village, my car suddenly broke down. It started raining heavily, and I stood there, wet and frustrated. Luckily, a farmer named Mr. Clark stopped his tractor and helped me call a mechanic. While waiting, he invited me to his house. His wife baked scones, and we talked about farming life. That simple afternoon in their warm house, while the rain hit the windows, became one of the most peaceful moments of my trip. The Coastlines. After my car was fixed, I continued to the southern coast. I visited Brighton and walked along the famous pier, enjoying the sea view. The sea wind was cold, but the sound of the waves made me feel alive. Later, in Cornwall, the cliffs rose dramatically above the ocean. I met a group of young hikers there, and they invited me to join them on a short trail. I struggled at first, but the laughter and shared effort made the experience unforgettable. East to Yorkshire. Driving north, I headed to Yorkshire, with its old stone streets and historic towns. In York, I wandered through the Shambles, a narrow medieval street where the houses leaned toward each other. It was like walking back in time. An old bookseller, Mrs. Henderson, told me stories about the city while recommending local history books. In the evenings, I joined walking tours to hear ghost stories of the old city. The combination of history and mystery made me feel both small and connected to something larger. The northern cities, Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle. My journey then brought me to Manchester. The city buzzed with music and football culture. In a cafe, I met 2 students who spoke passionately about Manchester United and Manchester City. We laughed as they argued about which team was better. From there, I went to Liverpool, famous for the Beatles. Walking around Albert Dock, I listened to street musicians playing their songs. It was moving to see how music still lived in the heart of the city. But the highlight came in Newcastle. I bought a ticket to watch Newcastle United play at St James's Park. The stadium was alive, tens of thousands of fans singing together, shouting and cheering. Sitting among them, I felt part of something huge. Even though I wasn't a local supporter, I shouted and clapped like one of them. A man next to me named Alan explained the chants and shared stories about the team. It was one of the best nights of my trip. Northern Scotland, a different world. Finally, I crossed into Scotland. The air felt colder, the hills sharper, and the voices stronger. In Edinburgh, the castle rose above the city like a guardian. I climbed up to Arthur's Seat, a hill with a wide view of the whole capital. The wind was wild, but the view was breathtaking. Stone buildings, narrow closes, and green landscapes stretching far. At a small cultural centre, I met a group of Scottish musicians playing traditional tunes. They welcomed me, a stranger, with smiles and warmth. I realised then that hospitality was not only in the south or the north, but everywhere across Britain. Coming home. After 2 weeks on the road, I returned to Birmingham. My car was dirty from rain and mud, and I was tired. But inside, something had changed. I no longer looked at the United Kingdom as just home. I saw it as a country of endless variety. Busy capitals, quiet villages, historic streets, powerful stadiums, dramatic coasts, and kind people. Travelling abroad is wonderful, yes, but sometimes the greatest adventure is to rediscover the place you already belong to.
Thank you for listening. If you liked the story, subscribe for more. And follow us on Instagram.